The Westover Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit held a 3D printing class July 29th through August 2nd. This week-long training was part of the 3D printer package that was purchased through the Air Force Reserve Innovation Funds program. 8 students participated, including airmen from Explosive Ordnance and aircraft maintenance.
Right now we're doing a 3D modeling class. We just received a new 3D printer, and we're learning how to actually make the models to print, and we're only limited by our creativity on this one. So they're giving us the opportunity to make tools that we think we can use in the field that we normally can't buy, or something that would be cheaper for us to make for ourselves.
We're at the forefront of a new technology and that's additive manufacturing. And we looked at this, we started seeing gaps and holes in bomb squads. We've been in 22 different countries around the world, working with the U.S. military and law enforcement. And we started seeing some gaps. Those gaps are, it's hard to find because 1% of the uniformed servicemen are EOD or less. And so it's a specialty type of an item. And so everything that EOD uses can be expensive. And it's hard to find something. Each unit has different needs depending on where you're at in the world, depending on the environment that you're in, depending on the altitude that you're in. They have different needs. So one tool, there's not a holy grail tool that works for everything. And it was getting so expensive that guys were trying to improvise things. And the way we looked at it was, we don't want to let good ideas pass us by. We would come up with ideas on a napkin on how we could make things better. And I felt bad because a lot of those things, we had great ideas, but they never came to fruition. There was no way economically that we were ever going to make that happen. So I envisioned in my head a clip. And it was a simple clip, but I thought maybe this would work. I wasn't sure. So we go back and I talked to one of the young engineers at WMD Tech, and I explained to him what it was that I wanted. About 10 minutes later, he has his clip drawn. I think, oh, that's cool. You know, I'm thinking like anything else, I'll see it in a week or two, maybe a month. That afternoon, he hands me 25 of these det cord clips. And I was blown away. I mean, I had an idea, and in an hour later, I'm holding that idea in my hand. So I asked the engineer, I said, well, so how much does that part cost? And he laughed, and he says, about 1/4 cent. I said, really? And so we looked at it. We thought, well, this is a pretty cool idea. Let's see if we couldn't make it commercially. Maybe other guys would look at it. So to make the mold for that particular clip was $10,000. And then you've got to have them manufactured after that. Well, what if there's any changes to this clip? I mean, what if somebody uses a different size det cord? And there was so right at that moment, in talking to the other bomb techs, I could see where additive manufacturing was right in our wheelhouse. And so we went and set a computer up. We put Fusion 360 on it, the same program the guys are using here. And in a week, I was drawing. I'm, you know, not the best drawings in the world, but I was making functional drawings. And we have a saying when it comes to learning this. If you can draw a straight line, a square, or a circle, you can draw anything, any of the tools that we're using. And this is just a week. This is phase 1. We have different phases for this training. So this is the introductory part of this. And with the new, especially the bright kids that we have coming into EOD now, they're very computer literate. They're writing code for microprocessors and other things like that. So they pick up on the CAD program very, very easily. What we wanted, though, was we didn't want it to stop there. We wanted to be able to share ideas. We wanted law enforcement to be able to share, law enforcement EOD to share with military EOD and vice versa. So if they come up with a part or an idea, we could share those.
Part of the purpose of this modeling course was to help us learn how to use that modeling system, Fusion 360, and be able to create things like this, these fuses, but also the tools that'll help us make our job easier. So the great thing about the 3D printers is we can actually create exact replicas of the metal fuses that go into the ordnance. And whenever we do our render safe procedures on the ordnance, we use a tool that'll actually either smash through the fuse or destroy it completely or put a giant hole through it. And these metal fuses cost big money comparatively to the 15-20 cents that it would cost to create this. So it gives us an opportunity to do more training because we don't have to worry about how much money we're spending to crush a 20-cent fuse versus a couple $100 metal fuse. So it's a lot more diverse too, because we're not limited to by just the fuses that we have in the shop. They actually do have some programs where EOD techs can share the information, the files, so that we can get more exact replicas if we're having trouble in modeling. The biggest benefit I see out of this is we're actually going to be able to make tools that fit our work style, because everybody can attack a problem in a different way. But if I can build a tool that I think would help me, I can go straight from pad to paper into Fusion 360, model it myself, and then bring it to the 3D printer and then test it. And then if it doesn't work, make another one, retest it. And this gives me an opportunity to build tools that either don't exist or I just don't know about, and I can build something that fits me versus having to buy something that I have to tailor to the tool. Now we can tailor the tool to the person.
Well, we have a 3D printer as well. Theirs is way more high-tech and futuristic, and they're using different 3D drawing software, but it's very similar. I learned a ton on how to draw 3D objects I'm going to bring back into the shop that we've never learned. And we could definitely create our own tools. We can't yet create aircraft parts only because you need an engineer's signature on it. But I mean, the potential's there if the Air Force gave us the blessing. Covers on the yokes in the cockpit, those are plastic. I mean, those are little things that I guarantee cost a fortune that if we had the blessing to make, we could print it no problem. Just all the ways you could draw in 3D. I mean, we only knew one way. We draw 2D and then make it 3D, but you could just draw in 3D right off the bat. There's metal printers out there for 3D printing metal. I mean, if we got that, and the ovens and stuff, we could definitely make a lot of these parts, and it takes, 16, 20 hours to machine these parts when you could print them in 8 hours.
It's not just little disposable items. They're making items in there that will attach to the robot. They're making parts that people didn't even think about. These guys all have great ideas, and that's part of it, is just to open that idea well up and see what we can do from the inside to make EOD better and safer. All of these tools are making a difference in EOD, keeping people safe and keeping people alive.